Welcome back. This is The Pick.
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
And this is going to be our college football storylines. And our storyline is going to be five teams that have impressed us so far this season, and 5 teams that have kind of disappointed us so far. And we're going to get the bad ones out of the way first off. And Clemson has been number one for me. Really, they're just disappointing me so far. Their offense is kind of lethargic, especially in the second game against A&M. They're slow, not on rhythm.
Yep.
Can't decide which quarterback they're going to play. They got to do that. They got to pick a quarterback and stick with them.
Yep.
Their defensive line, amazing, played it great, but that secondary got eaten alive by A&M. I didn't even know who their quarterback was. I don't know any of the receivers, and they got eaten alive by that Clemson team. And A&M probably should have won that game. That BS stupid rule, touchback rule. I'm not going to make excuses. They still could have won the game, but man, that rule's stupid, and they need to change that. Yeah. A&M, they fought their hearts out. People were saying, well, Clemson went into a really hard place to play and got to win, but they're Clemson. I expect more of them. If Bama did the same thing, we wouldn't be saying this. They're on Bama's level.
Yep.
So I expect more. I expected Clemson to dominate or at least win comfortably, and they didn't. They struggled a lot. A&M, I gotta give it to them. I can't stand A&M, but I gotta give them to them. They played great. They fought out their hearts out. They played really good defense. And offense, man, that receiver that almost tore his ACL, I don't know how the hell he didn't.
Oh, God,
that was a great run from him, great catch. He played really great. That quarterback for them played great as well, so I'm impressed by A&M, and they definitely have some future. And the other team we're about to talk about, Jimbo's old team, I think Jimbo's a really good coach, and Florida State's a shit show.
Clemson, man. And these are, by the way, these are all the teams that we both picked. Clemson, jeez, man. Simply put it, it didn't look like a Dabo Swinney team I was watching.
No.
Not looking sound on defense. I watched one of their corners, number 11. I don't know him by name. But, oh, my God, I watched him literally do circles and then end up bumping into one of his players to find the dude to tackle. And I was like, what am I watching right now? To add on what he said about people, I don't care if you're playing in the loudest of stadiums. Don't look like that.
Yeah.
And that's a top, like he said, I think this team is on Bama's level, and you can't look like that. No. You can't be looking like buffoons. And a lot of times this defense they look like buffoons out there. Yeah. My question is, how did the quarterback for A&M, complete that one long pass through that should have been picked. There was a lot of plays I was like, what are you guys doing? And even offensive-wise, there was some question marks. I agree with him. I think they needed to just stick with the quarterback. And I think, honestly, right now, Kelly Bryant is the guy to stick with right now.
Yeah.
He looked the best out of the 2 quarterbacks that day.
He did.
Yeah, I understand. Lawrence threw a really good pass to his first pass of that game, and it was caught. But I think it was more the catch than it was the throw. So, Kelly Bryant, a lot of times in big situations, he ran the football, got the first down when they really needed it. So, yeah, man, I think they need to stick with him. And, man, they got a lot of things to figure out, man. That it just did not look like a normal Clemson team that I've seen over the past 3 years. It looked sloppy, and it just did not look like them. They didn't look like themselves.
Alrighty, Florida State's gonna be the next team we are disappointed in. They barely beat a D2 school, Stanford. They barely skipped that game. They're losing a lot of this game, so they definitely need to get things figured out. They have way too much talent on this team to be whacked like they've been in the last 2 games. They got mollywopped by Virginia Tech, and Florida State, I thought they would be a lot better than they are, and they're pretty whacked so far this season.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat. I don't get it, man. You should stomp these guys. You were one of those programs that is considered as one of those elite programs.
Yeah. And
you let Stanford come in and pretty much show ass. Pretty much is like I like to say. They were balling out. Really, it came down to the last I want to say close to the into the third, into the fourth quarter, that's when Florida State started. They got an interception, ran it back for a touchdown, and then Francois finally got a drive going down in the fourth quarter and got a touchdown. But it shouldn't take those guys that long to get sustainable drives against Samford, not Stanford. Sanford.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous, and they got mollywopped by Virginia. So I don't get it, man. They got things to figure out. I know they got a new coach, and they got a lot of new pieces around there, but they got to figure it out, man. Because your program shouldn't be that bad to where you almost lose to Sanford.
All right, Florida's gonna be the next team we talk about. They lost to Kentucky. Yeah, they definitely didn't look great in this game. A little closer than a score in the case. Kentucky scored a touchdown late on a fumble, but the quarterback didn't play well. The defense did, but they can't lose to Kentucky. This team has way more talent than Kentucky does, and they snapped a 30-year straight drought of not beating Florida. And Florida's gonna have a lot of lumps because they're definitely not what I thought they were gonna be either this season so far.
Yeah, I think where it lies for me as far as the struggles go for Florida is their offense. They have a hard time getting down the field and getting points. And that's the thing about college, man. You got to score points. Man, I think that's their biggest struggle. Their offensive line wasn't giving their quarterback no time a lot of the times in the game. And, they were making Kentucky look like a more elite team than they were. So, both Florida State and Florida, man, they got some down in Florida. They got some work to do.
And our knockout, our other Florida team, Miami, they got mollywopped against LSU, which is going to be one of the teams that pressed us in our next list. Miami definitely. I think they're a little overrated. They struggled a lot in that LSU game. They got dominated in every facet of the game. Their defense didn't look as good as I figured it'd be. That offense didn't look. They pretty much looked terrible, and they got dominated.
Yeah.
The quarterback is not good, and I never thought he was, and they got to get figured out. They're going to have a rough season.
Yeah, man. Out of all the teams on this list, this is the one I am least worried about is Miami. I think they're going to bounce back. I love their whole mentality of the turnover chain aspect. Yeah. I think they're going to get it turned around, but man, these first couple games, man, they look bad. We kind of figured this offense would bounce back. They had an okay season last year, offensive-wise. I think they were going to bounce back. I think their biggest issue is quarterback. Can he be consistent enough? And right now, he's not looking like it. Once again, I think Miami needs to get back to that turnover chain and get that rolling for them because that was the highlight for them last year. And I believe that's how they became so established and good last year. Was they had that going for them. They had the turnover chain. So I think if they get that going, they can bounce back. But it's looking rough for them right now.
And our last team is going to be USC. They barely beat their team. They played the first game. They struggled first half. And they got dominated by Stanford. Their quarterback, JT Daniels, is a freshman, so I'm not going to pile on him too much, but he did struggle. He had a terrible game. 2 interceptions, 16 to 34 attempts, 215 yards. QBR 20 points. That's terrible. They only scored 3 points, so they're definitely not going to be as good as I thought they're going to be.
Yeah.
That defense is still pretty good, but that offense is just really struggled against a pretty good Stanford team.
Yeah, it's gonna suck because I had USC going 14-2 on the season, and man, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Man, I think out of all these teams as well, this is the most shocked on how they are degressing instead of progressing. I'm in the same boat as him. I'm not gonna throw them down in the gutter and throw their quarterback down in the gutter because he is a freshman. But those 2 picks he thrown, they were really bad decisions. What are you doing? Don't throw that. I understand you're a freshman, but you should still know to not throw those. And he threw them, and they were really bad. Man, this defense that we thought was going to be legit, they've been struggling, and especially in the red zone. They showed a stat in the red zone. They're just getting demolished in both of these games that they played, and that's the worst thing you do is give up points, man. So they got some work to do at USC. We don't know where they're going to end up landing.
All right, well, that's all I got to say about this list.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for watching this pick.
We'll see you on the next one. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below.
All right.